So welcome for the Study Abroad Global Learning Info Session for today, January the 15th. Just a bit of housekeeping. So I just started the recording on this just so that this recording can be converted into a YouTube recording and anyone can watch words or others that couldn't come today can still watch this recording, and we will share it with anyone that's joining or others that couldn't come. If you do have questions, please put your questions in the chat box. Student Assistance Jas is there to answer any of your questions today and helping it with a bit of more of the logistics there on the IT side. And then there'll be a time for questions at the end as well. Just we have our territorial acknowledgement. So at KPU, we work, study, and live in a region south of the Fraser River, overlapping with the unceded traditional and ancestral lands of the Kwantlen, Musqueam, Katzie, Semiahmoo, Tsawwassen, Kaykwat, and Coquitlam people. Starting off for this meeting, very happy to have the university name of Kwantlen coming from our First Nations there, and really want to acknowledge that at the start of this info session meeting today. For the agenda, now it's just gone a bit past 11:30, so we'll be talking about just a welcome, just get to know what Study Abroad team is and some introductions of who's going to be speaking here today. The PowerPoint that is shared, we'll discuss and go over all those questions you may have about what type of opportunities are available, scholarship details, application requirements, events, and tips from the alumni. We have some alumni who participated who are here to give some of their personal experience feedback and encourage others who may have some questions. And there'll be a time for questions near to the end as well. So for the Study Abroad team, Ada Lee is our manager. We have Study Abroad. We're also under the Department of International, working with global learning and partnerships. Myself, my name is Sarah Byrne, Study Abroad coordinator, and I help a lot with the students going outbound, like any of you who are joining or listening in on the call. Doesn't matter if you're already international or you're Canadian, if you've never gone abroad before, that can help you with any of the outbound experiences. My coworker, Daria, she's based more on the Richmond campus, is helping a bit more with inbound and field school, short-term type of programs, as well as special projects for our university. We have international support assistant Anton. We also have 2 student assistants. So that's good to know if any of you are ever interested in being a student assistant. Our office does hire. So Jas, who is a student assistant, if you're able to unmute and show your camera, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jas. I did go abroad in 2023 fall. I went to the Netherlands, and now luckily I'm working in the office. So hopefully I'll be helping you guys out in the future to go abroad. And yeah, I'll just pass it back to Sarah. Sarah, you're muted.
Yeah, I just had to mute myself there. So just maybe we'll also give a little bit of words of encouragement here for those who maybe are thinking about study abroad, and also him himself, who was like any of you as a student here at KPU, debating whether or not it was worthwhile.
Yeah, especially since I saw the poster in the library the first year, I did see like our school offered it, which I didn't even think was possible. And I hadn't really traveled around much. So this kind of gave me the opportunity to get credits and not miss school while also being able to travel, especially if you're planning on going to places like Europe or even Asia, where everything is pretty close by. It allowed me to travel so much, which was one of the big things on my bucket list, right? Being able to travel around the world. In Europe, that's pretty easy. You just hop on a train, go everywhere you want. And even besides the point of being able to get those credits, and you get to learn new things about that country, and also you kind of get to experience new things, meet new people, and that's kind of a big thing, right? So especially with this opportunity coming up, and I know Sarah's going to mention scholarships was also a help with funding. It's very important that you get to use the resources you have at KPU and be able to kind of fulfill your bucket list, your dreams, and all while still being able to learn and get credits for it as well.
So we have this quote here saying 20 years from now, you might be more disappointed by the things you didn't do by the ones that you did do. And I often hear this by faculty or staff here who wish that they had gone on a study abroad experiences. So today's just about explaining more about what those opportunities are so you can explore them, dream about the opportunities for yourself, discover what's available, and then think about going abroad and taking that risk, getting away and having an adventure that you won't regret. So some of the top reasons, just might go over some of these ones here.
Yeah, so the big one, like number one, is improve your language skills and intercultural competencies. When I was living in the Netherlands, I had two roommates which were from Austria, and never like I didn't really think German was going to be on my list of languages to learn, but from them, you kind of pick up different languages. I was able to pick up Dutch, German, a little bit of like Italian from all the people you meet around the world. So it kind of helps you, pick up different languages that you didn't even think would be something you're interested in. And also just intercultural competencies you get to learn, especially for a business student like myself. It's important to kind of know how different cultures function in terms of communication, in terms of planning. And that always helps in real world situations, whether you're work situation or even at school, right? Since KPU is such an international school, there's a lot of different people from different backgrounds. It's really important in that sense too. It also just helps broaden your worldview and experiences. Like I said, when I went to Europe, I was able to travel a lot, and it kind of broadened my horizons. Whereas, in North America, we're kind of isolated. There's not that many different countries nearby. There, I was able to pick up different cultures, meet different people, and it kind of just helped me realize how big the world really is. It also enhances your resume with skills. That was a really big important one. I had an interview in September, and I really talked a lot about study abroad because I was able to kind of relay those skills and those experiences from my trip onto in that interview. And I had two, and I used a lot of it, and that really helped me. Like I did end up getting the job. So study abroad isn't just about the school side. It's also about those skills you pick up by being independent, by being able to adapt, and the intercultural competencies, like I mentioned before. It's really important in the real world. It also just helps expand your global network and friendships as well. Like last year, I went back to Montreal to visit some friends that I had made on my study abroad. So it's not like once you leave, it's over. Those connections do last forever, pretty much. I still keep in touch with all my friends back in Europe, and I also have I think when I went there, my LinkedIn network got really big just because I was able to connect with so many different people from different backgrounds, especially in my field of accounting, which really helps down the line if I ever want to go somewhere or travel somewhere, maybe move. It also helps with that. And then also the scholarships and supports. I think Sarah's going to touch base a little bit on that down the line, but that was really important for me. I was able to get a scholarship that helped me fund my accommodation, my flight, my insurance. So it really helped me on that end, even though I had planned, I budgeted for, I think, to cover all of that. The scholarship just kind of helped helped ease with the problems that I may think, or just kind of gave me extra money on the side just in case of emergencies came up or anything like that. It was really useful. So KPU does offer a lot in terms of that, in helping people kind of go abroad, especially if it's something that you're really interested in.
Thank you, Jess. Yeah, so really good details in there. On the support side, I'm going to add that it doesn't matter if maybe you have accommodation requests for a learning assistance you might need. I've supported some other students with that, or medical conditions they need support with transitioning their life to another university and another country. We support also with students for that, and any other anxiety or challenges students have. We've been supporting with that and visas. So there's lots of things that we have, doesn't matter what your age is or any of your orientation. We support inclusive for all students to go abroad, and especially on those soft skills on the resume. I've been hearing soft skills through lived experience in another country and culture are really good and getting more in demand for the future jobs. So in the next, it's thinking more about what, when, and where. So what types of opportunities are available. And this is where you can explore everything and hear today and then think about it. In the eligibility, it's really just on the simple, if you're thinking about a semester, we're looking about the what that you've got. Just settle into KPU, looking at maybe you've got your second year, 24 credits before the time you start to go abroad. So if you're new to KPU, you just started, it's good to help plan out, and you can maybe save some electives in your program and then plan for that. GPA is at 2.5. If any students have any concerns about credits or GPA, just discuss that with me, and we'll look on a case-by-case basis at the time of the application. If maybe your semester is too long, you're looking at more of a short-term program, as long as you've got at least one semester done and you're already here in one semester, we can just plan for the next opportunity of short-term type of programs. So we have 4 kinds of opportunities. In the longest opportunity is that exchange, where you would go for a full semester, or you could go for a full year. We have students doing that at our partner universities. The benefit is that you wouldn't have to worry about international fees abroad at what they are at our other countries, as they would only be paying KPU fees. And then we work with the transfer credits so that those courses taken abroad can come back into your program here and help for graduation. And if you take out student loans, paying for those credits and fees at KPU, it's eligible to get student loans also for that. So lots of opportunities to make the exchange possible. Our next deadline coming up is February 27th if you want to go for fall 2024. Or June 15th for spring 2025. If exchange and going abroad for a full semester is too much, under a shorter program is field schools, where they're led by an instructor. The field school for this year is going to Barcelona, led by the design faculty. There could be other field schools led by other faculty coming up in the future, and more of those are usually announced in the fall for next summer. Independent summer schools for 2-week programs. Those are in our partner universities, and I'll talk more about them today. You can go in that in-person for maybe 2 or 4 weeks. Opportunity to maybe take one class in the 2 weeks, and then that could be an elective or one that you need to take for your program. Our deadline's coming up in February for summer programs, and there are some that you're either cultural based with excursions, and we're getting lots of updates from our partner and updating our website for that. If you going abroad and leaving for in-person, maybe you have commitments, other reasons to go, and it's hard to leave in person. We do have, we opened up for when it was the pandemic, virtual opportunities, and virtual opportunities have lots of benefits that you can still have that intercultural experience. You can get the certificate or the transcript direct from the university in the foreign country that adds to your resume, and you can still remain here in Canada and participate, keeping your work or other experiences at the same time. It allows a bit more for accessibility. For the virtual, we have had summer schools go virtual, where you could take a summer school course over that. There have been some work programs or language courses. So different opportunities. You might even see professors in your class. Some of them have what's called this collaborative online international learning called COIL, where one of your classes, and look for them if you really want to have more of a international experience at KPU, look for a class that has that COIL with it, because that means your instructor here at KPU is going to have a project with another university in a foreign country, and then you can do joint work on that there. Otherwise, these ones are more independent through our office. In the virtual internship, we've been working with different companies. Strongly have these 3. And the first, we've been working a lot with students for 3 years with Costa Rica Global Learning Programs that allows students, maybe we've got a lot of students that want to get work experience or kind of explore what their program is in another country, and as well as adding in that cultural element, learning Spanish, knowing more about the Costa Rican culture. So I've had a lot of good feedback. Here are some students who were in this student here, originally from India, in a post-bac program, worked with a tourism company in Costa Rica and helped develop, she didn't know Spanish ahead of time, and then she learned so much about what the culture was like, and then developed marketing materials that she learned through there in a virtual learning experience. Same with Brian, who actually knew a bit about Spanish but hadn't used his Spanish in a working atmosphere. So it was really good to challenge him to have professional Spanish for a working area, as well as learning the dialect of Costa Rica, and also similar understanding how entrepreneurship worked in Costa Rica with the company he was working with there. We've had different students. A number of health science students and psychology students also have really positive experience with virtual internships in Costa Rica, getting to create graphs and articles, working on research for health science in the public health area. And we've had some other students do some other programs that might have come up in virtual schemes, like in Toyo's online language program, which I'll talk about. So this is another student here in the virtual. Our next virtual program will happen in the summer, but if you're ever interested, I can discuss and we can help plan for an opportunity for you to do a virtual internship like Prachi did, for example, here. So Toyo is an opportunity that is come up right now. The deadline is soon, January 29th. And Toyo University is located in Tokyo, Japan. They're a partner of ours, and they have this, maybe you really want to learn Japanese and you want to, don't have a lot of time to maybe take a full class, but there is an intensive one where you can do it for 2 weeks. And it's all online, and the certificate will be given by the Toyo University and goes in following the regular textbook. And you get a lot of interactive activities to practice the Japanese. There is a cost to this program for the time that it will happen. There is possibility for you to apply for scholarships, as our office has, to help students engage in international intercultural learning, to help with the coverage of some of this scholarship and a bit extra to help for virtual learning in the program. I have near to me a student who participated in this program. I'm just going to move the camera, then you can see and she can talk about that.
All right. Hi, I'm Casey. I'm a student at KPU. I took Toyo's Japanese program last year. Not only was it really fun, but I can highly recommend it for anyone interested in Japanese. I loved the class. There were students from all over the world, so I really got to get to know other people's language and culture at the same time, which was really interesting. My favorite part, though, is that the class wasn't geared towards tests. Instead, over the 2 weeks, a few times a week, we had a meeting with some of Toyo's Japanese students from their university in Tokyo. And I feel like that part was where I learned the most in this class, not just the Japanese language, like I said, but really getting those soft skills that Sarah mentioned about intercultural communication. I mean, some of the Japanese students barely knew English as well. And so it was actually really funny of me, like online, where I had my limited Japanese knowledge, and then the other student who only knew a little English, and the two of us were like really trying our best to communicate. And honestly, that was the most memorable part of the program. So I highly recommend it for anyone who's interested in Japanese, who doesn't have a lot of experience. You don't need to know any Japanese for this class. The only other thing is to know of the time difference between Canada and Japan. If you're a regular night owl, there will be no problem. If you usually wake up early like I do, you might have to switch your schedule a little bit, but I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun and it was well worth my time.
Thank you, Casey. So really good experience that she had there. Like she mentioned, she didn't know Japanese and got that interactive experience and even had a bit of jet lag from the time difference afterwards. But it does allow accessibility, as you can do this all virtually from the comfort and safety of your home with all the commitments of your class or work or anything you're doing at this time for the 2 weeks that will be in the evenings during that time. So if you are interested, let me know. Deadline is coming up for both the program application and the scholarship application, January 29th. Okay, and we've also had a number of students who maybe took this virtual program, then got a bit of more of the basics of the language, and then want to go in person. So when you're thinking of going in person, these are highlights of our partnered universities. Now, when we talk about partnered universities, these are legal agreements that KPU has signed, and then we have this possibility for exchange. So in that exchange, it means that our university, say here, Toyo University in Japan, we can do these programs on the outbound that I help with students to go abroad. And then we have students there that come here to our university. Same with any of these other places, they'll have students go there. So when you're thinking, oh, so many places around the world, where to go. So it's good to think about your interest. Maybe you have that interest in learning Asian languages, Japanese languages, can focus over here into the Asia. Or like Jess was interested in connecting. He knew some friends in Europe. He wanted to go there. So that personal interest, think about that if you're going to spend some time to go abroad. And then languages, maybe the area there. All these our partners have English, but if you're wanting to improve your Spanish, go to South Central America. I've got a partner in Spain. Or want to improve your French, we've got the partner over in France. Really good to spend some time there to improve your language ability. But also connection to your degree program. So each of those agreements with these partners is specific and they offer those classes. If you have electives, maybe that gives you more flexibility because we had a student, maybe she was psychology, but she had electives so she could go to Columbia and just take some business classes and language classes. So it gives more openness. So if you're starting out, save those electives, you could go everywhere. Or if you are okay with those extra credits, then you can still see that value in courses like, say you study law, you want to go to Australia, you're really interested in the criminology and law from their country. That might not be equal to Canadian law, but it could be extra or an elective for your professional development, just taking extra classes to help for your future. So there's different reasons that can really help to decide where to go. And that's something in appointments I have with students to help decide on that. If you are specific in the Wilson School of Design, or are you specific in limited entry programs, there are specific programs, and I'm just highlighting to there for this department that we've signed with design opportunities. Because I do know there could be students here that study interior design or product design, fashion, or graphic design and marketing, working and supporting for any of you that I know you're in a cohort, you can still remain in your cohort there and go to one of the approved destinations for your program and get the support with your chair to work on the transfer credit approval of those courses so you can come back to your cohort and remain with your cohort for graduation. And then if there is the given approved semester. There is others that could be approved, but so far our fall deadline, February 27th, coming up. If you're an interior third year or product design third year student in 5th semester, this is the time for you to apply. If you are in second year, 4th semester, or third year, 6th semester for spring 2025, deadline is June 15th for any of you in this program. If you're a diploma student, summer programs are best for you. So fashion, marketing, or any other diploma programs, summer programs are option. So today I can talk more about what are the summer 2024 programs. We are updating them. Just and I have been working, there was a bit of a hold on the website updates, and now we've been busy updating, and we will continue to update more as we get more details from our partner university. The first one is the Munich Business School in Germany. We've been working with our partner there in Munich for a number of years, so it already has an approved credit, 3 credits. Maybe you need just 1 3-credit business elective. And instead of taking it here, you could take it by having a wonderful experience in Germany, seeing all the German companies for 2 weeks and exploring, maybe looking at the cultural tours around. We had a student last year, Van. She was a post-bac international student actually herself. So if you ever say, I'm international, should I still go? Yes, you're exploring for her. She was from Vietnam, so she knew about everything for supply chain management in Vietnam, then in Asia, then coming to Canada to see how things work in North America, and then going to Europe to explore the European system. Wonderful. Then that's really enhanced her resume. She got 2 scholarships, support from the business, Melvin School of Business, plus from us, she got GuardMe scholarship. And she said this was the most rewarding experience, gaining so much knowledge from companies in the factories, learning so much of how the system works in Germany. So she 100% recommends that. And right now we are promoting for February 27th deadline for the July 15th, July 26th business school. If you are an engineering, or you're really, I know here you can't get your degree in engineering, but you know there are students that maybe they do first 2 years and then transfer over to another university, enhancing your resume and transcripts to get that acceptance to an engineering school. Maybe you also want to go to Germany and learn about engineering through Germany. We had a student last year who was our first student, got a scholarship to go on this program, and highly recommended it. They learned so much when it came to what engineering, and Germany is a lead in engineering there for opportunities, local experiences from the professors and engineers over on that side. So lots of opportunities, as well as on the social aspect. You can see how things work in the country, in Europe, and explore the nature and also the history over in the area. So business side, I've got some on the science side. Another country having another program, whoops, I'll go back. It seems to go through, is Switzerland. So Switzerland, we have over here opportunity this summer. You could go, and if you're looking similar, just for a 3-credit busy course, there's lots of opportunities. We actually have an alumni from the B-Swiss program, Mina. Mina, if you're able to unmute yourself.
Hey everyone, like Sarah said, my name is Mina. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can. I wonder if I can
Awesome.
try to pop you up. I'm just trying to get into this with the screen. Yeah. You here? Yes. Okay. You want to, yeah, we're available here.
Awesome.
Mhm. I can go back. Yeah, if you want to keep talking about that.
Sure, absolutely. So
Mhm.
I did go last summer to the B-Swiss program in Switzerland. It was a business program, and in the beginning I was very worried about it. I was very stressed out. I was debating like how I'd be traveling alone. I'd never traveled alone, and especially going to a country where, the official language is not really English, and just being in a setting that's completely not comfortable to me. That was something that really freaked me out. However, I was like, okay, like gotta push through it and just think of, the positives that it could be. And thankfully, it wasn't anything less than, you know, uh, perfection. Everything that I was worried about was all up in my head. It was not real or true. Everyone there was super kind, welcoming, and you think you're gonna be alone or whatnot, but no, if you don't like to be alone, everyone there is going with the same mentality too. That oh, I don't want to be traveling alone. I don't want to be in a different city alone. I don't want to be somewhere where I don't have support or somewhat like that. And so everyone is on the same page where, I'm looking for support, but I'm also willing to provide it. So it's the relationships that, I made there were um, unparalleled elsewhere. Everyone, like I said, was super welcoming and generous, and providing you with any support that you may need, information and whatnot. And apart from that, the program itself was actually very useful. It was a great balance between academic work and like extracurricular work. Well, not extracurricular, but I mean like outside of school work. So it was a lot of company visits, a lot of outings with the class, and it was yeah, it was overall like such a great balance where you're able to still explore the city, not just the city, actually we explored many cities in the country, and still be able to connect it with business, and be able to understand how things run in a different country, especially Switzerland. So overall, it was such a rewarding experience, and I would definitely do it again if I have a chance to do it again. Yes. Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. If anyone has any questions for Mina, you can ask them now. Does anyone have any questions? I'm just like focusing into the chat. If you don't have any other questions, I don't see any questions in the chat box right now. I'll just say thank you, Mina, for sharing all the tips. And if there are any questions, you let me know, and I'll also ask Mina if he has any questions later. But thank you. Wish you
You're
well
very
for the
welcome.
rest of your day. And I'll
Thank
just
you.
go back to the PowerPoint. So I'm just going to talk on the Nottingham Trent. So they have a number of summer school courses happening, and they're going Monday, July 15th to the 22nd. And then there's a course fee here. And we had 2 students go on this program last year. They were able to get their courses approved. If you're interested in anything on this list, I'll work to get it assessed by faculty. Lots of fun for this program over in England. So a lot of positive opportunities on this one. We have some other opportunities of summer schools in France, business and fashion related, Denmark related to design or entrepreneurship, Finland if you're an IT or business student. There's actually no fee for that tuition over in Finland. You just need to be nominated from KPU. And UCA in England has some opportunities for design. UMAP, there's lots of options. They will be having some summer school programs. They're probably going to be offered a little bit later, and then we'll announce on our website and our Instagram when that's ready. UMAP is option that we're a part of a group for networking in Asia and Pacific. Other than short-term programs, there are exchange opportunities to go through there. For anything on the UMAP site, you still need to apply to KPU and then complete your application and then be nominated. We can just send a few students there and we'll be working through them with each of the applications. UMAP has either the short-term, virtual, or exchange. They also offer a lot of scholarships. If you're going on the short term, you could get up to maybe $3,000 for your program, or in physical mobility of a semester or 2 semesters, you could get $10,000 or $14,000 to help with a program. So lots of scholarship updates. You would need to first get accepted by KPU, and then there's opportunity to get these scholarships. So these ones are just for Canadian students, to really encourage Canadian students to get out of Canada and explore the world more. But we do have other scholarships into our list. And if you're ever wondering about finance and SAFA here, they can discuss a lot more with scholarships specific for anything to your program. Otherwise, destination specific, there's links, and just can share in the chat anything for our website here of where you can see different awards, maybe specific, like Mina went to Switzerland, there's a Swiss award, or going to Japan, specific to Japan, there's special awards. And then our general awards here are the One World, GuardMe, and Access to Global Learning Award. The Access to Global Learning Award, it's funded from Canada's Outbound Mobility Program and CICAN's GSO. It can, if you're going for an exchange, that longer term, you could get 5,000 or 8,000. If it's a short-term program, a summer school program, maybe, or field school, there's 2,000 or 3,000. If it's a virtual, like the Toyo program, it could be 1,000 or 500 type of funding. And COIL, even there's some help with students in COIL. Now, the higher amount is really on the domestic side, helping students who identify with a low income. Maybe you that is indicated through showing your budget, maybe you take out student loans, maybe you are also in a lower financial status. If you identify as a student with a disability, you have a medical condition or an accommodation request, that would also be under the higher category 1 for the higher amount to help you with an exchange abroad. Also, any Indigenous students, you also can help to get more funding to go on international global mobility experiences. If you are not in category 1, there's still opportunities to get a scholarship through AGLA if you are going to a non-traditional destination. So that's not France, Australia, somewhere where they speak English or French. Just trying to encourage more students to open their horizons to non-English speaking or French speaking countries to go abroad. Note that the deadline for these applications is same time as your program application. GuardMe, this is, you could get up to $2,000. So if you are an international student, then you also could get a scholarship through here that you're applicable for. And this can help you on a program, either in the short-term, virtual, or exchange opportunity. Now, our last one through our office is the One World Scholarship. This is funded from BC Scholarship Society. I'm really trying to encourage more students to go outside of Canada and the US on global experiences. This is especially for students in the application. It asks about your volunteer. So if you don't volunteer and you're thinking about scholarships, I would recommend to go help out in an event or with any groups or activities. Then it can add to that, as they will be looking for both academic as well as a community reference for this One World Scholarship. And you could get 2,000 to 5,000 for this. if you're going on an academic experience like summer exchange, but if it's just for a cultural experience, then it might be $2,000. Similar deadline is due same time as program applications. So our upcoming one is February the 27th or January 29th if you're looking at Toyo's program. External BC Scholarship Society also helps with up to $12,000. This is competitive throughout all of BC with all students planning a global experience, and then that can help to your experience going abroad. Other awards are listed on our website and will also be promoted through our social media. So you've heard about the opportunities and about the funding, and maybe you want to get some funding, hearing that there's scholarships available and other students have gotten some, and you're wondering about how now to apply. So if you are on the exchange requirements, number one is just book an appointment with me. We can talk in the advising about all the details. And then move on is for the exchange, just listing what your first and second choice is. Thinking about the budget worksheet, about what the finances are, maybe it helps to indicate what your first and second choice is. Looking at maybe places, say going to Poland might be more affordable than going to England, and you can look at what the costs are, and that can maybe decide on where you'd like to go. Study plan, we'll be looking at that, thinking about it, knowing what you need for your graduation. You can confirm that with an advisor. I'm not an academic advisor, so it's always good. All students, if they have questions on their program specific, what courses they need for graduation, those are talked with an academic advisor, and then I can support when it comes to finding courses abroad and then thinking of how that might come back to KPU as we're working with the transfer credit approval here. Statement of interest. Why do you want to go to the different places? That will also be asked for on the award application. And then one faculty reference. It's to be given directly from the referee. Now, an unofficial transcript, and if you're a Wilson School of Design student, it would be a portfolio. Now, if you're going only for a short term, just one reference is needed. The unofficial don't need to pay transcript, the fillable PDF, and an advising appointment. Scholarship applications are detailed on the website. Similar, just fill out the PDF. The same references you give for your program are good for the scholarships, and the unofficial transcript that you give for the program is also good for the scholarship also. If you have any questions, you can email, and those are where the reference letters would be sent to, as well as all the documents would come into our international program email. For the steps of how it looks, if you're going on exchange, you apply. After the application, we'll review, and then you can get an acceptance. Then you work to go abroad. Then you go and prepare to go abroad, like our students are doing right now in December. Then you arrive at the partner university. We give you some swag bag as well and do a farewell social. And then you have your semester abroad, and then you'd come back to KPU. We do a welcome party, re-entry, and support with any transcripts, and then you become a part of the alumni community. Now, for the alumni community, Jess is a part of the alumni community as he went abroad to the Netherlands in the fall of 2022 and has come back, and he's also been featured on our Instagram. We show other alumni students there, so you can read what they've done and then think about it. Ishikawa was a program, we'll see if it's happening again. Ishikawa, Japan has also recently experienced some earthquakes. They did do a summer school last year. I'm just checking in with them to see about their summer school for 2024. But there's exchange opportunities are still available as these students have done here. And you can see on our social media any other students that are also posting their experiences. Got a student over from Denmark, a student who went to Colombia. Also highly recommends to get out of the comfort zone and that you'll never regret any of the experience abroad. Her major was in psychology. And then Natanya went to Australia on her exchange. 100% recommended it, and then also was a student assistant with us and helped for her job applications afterwards. So if you are thinking a little bit is to do kind of a little bit of the prep work, and then recommend checking the different social media accounts for the different universities, thinking of where to go. And don't be afraid to ask any questions. Just think about completing everything on time. Basically, as long as you are really interested in going and we've got the top 2 choice for where you want to go in case something happens, we're not able to help you to go for one choice. There's a backup plan. As long as you've got all those documents completed in time by the deadline, there's a really good chance for you to go, and we'll help to make that happen, and there's no any red flag issues. So just work on all those bits, especially thinking if you are interested in the exchange for fall 2020. 4, that our deadline is February 27th, as well as the summer schools I mentioned, and apply for any of the scholarships, even if you don't think you qualify and you're nervous, or you've never applied or never asked anybody for a reference letter. Just encourage all to do so, as it will really help, and you won't regret it. So if you want to go, there's also opportunities. Maybe you don't, participating in a program might be too much. You could be a buddy for a student here, and that's what some of our students are doing before they go abroad, connecting with a student from Switzerland or Vietnam or Taiwan, and then helping them for their studies in life in Canada. And then also that's a lot of the programs that students have abroad at our partners. If it was in Nottingham Trent or other places, you can have a buddy there that's going to show you around and take you to places as well in a lot of the programs. So we do a number of events on campus. There's lots of opportunities to engage in them. We had IFW recently last fall, and there'll be other sessions for pre-departure and welcome events. But thank you for joining. This is our Instagram, is at Study Abroad on social media, and you can contact international programs at kpu.ca or make an appointment with me on Advisor Connect.